Hey guys, it's Sarah with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we have a review and install of the Red Rock 4x4 cold air intake fitting your 2020 and newer 3.6-liter Jeep Gladiators. This intake is perfect for the Gladiator owner looking for a budget-friendly way to increase the flow to their engine. This kit features an aluminum intake tube with a bright mirror polished finish, a textured black powder-coated air box with weather stripping, and a reusable cotton air filter, which is also in black. This intake improves flow over the restrictive factory airbox for better throttle response, and it does not require a tune for operation. Now, I did want to note that this will not protect from water as nicely as your factory airbox. So if you plan to do a ton of off-roading where water is involved, I would recommend adding a snorkel to this setup. So as far as price goes, this option comes in at around $150, making it the most budget-friendly way to add an intake to your Gladiator. And as far as the install goes, I'm giving this one a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It does feature a direct bolt-up installation that can be done within 1 hour. So with that said, let's check out the install. For this install, you will need a pop clip removal tool, flathead screwdrivers, a ratchet or an impact gun, and 14, 10, and 8mm sockets. Alright, so the first step in our uninstall is to remove this sensor plug and also remove the 2 pop clips that hold it onto your intake. Next, we're going to disconnect the PCV line from our intake. Press down on this tab and pull back. Next up, we're going to remove the bolts that hold on the intake. There's 2 10mm bolts right at the front here. Grab a 10mm socket and get this removed. And there's one on the side of the intake as well. With your 10mm socket, get it removed. Next up, we can loosen up the bolt on this clamp. You can use a flathead screwdriver or you can use an 8mm socket and just loosen it up. And there's another one right by the airbox. Loosen this one up as well. And there's one more clip on the backside holding a coolant line on. Remove that as well. Now we can remove the intake tube. Now for the box itself, there's 2 rubber grommets down here. What you're just going to do is wiggle and pull upwards to release it. All right, now that we have our factory intake uninstalled from our Jeep, we can check it out side by side with our new intake here. Now, as you can see, this new one is a lot smaller than your factory. This intake pipe features a much smoother flow than the factory pipe, and also the open air box improves flow as well. Inside the air box, you'll see a conical, reusable, and re-oilable filter, which is a nice improvement over the factory filter, which you'll need to replace. This new one you can clean and reuse. So with that said, let's finish up the install. So we do have to disassemble some components off the factory intake, like this sensor right here. Now to do this, you have to twist it backwards this direction, but there is a little stopper there. So to get this tab over the stopper with a small flathead, go underneath and just gently pry it over top. Once you pry it over top of this tab, you can twist it and remove it. We're also going to remove 2 rubber grommets off the bottom of your factory airbox. Just grab them and twist them to remove. Now we're going to install this rubber grommet into our new intake tube. It slides in the opening here. You just have to line it up to the groove on the grommet. May take a little wiggling and maneuvering to get it in. Now before we can install this sensor in our pipe, we do need to remove this factory O-ring. So with a pick or a small flathead like we have here, just gonna remove it off the sensor and set it aside. Now you can install it into the rubber grommet. Now we can install the weather stripping on the box. We're just lining it up along the edge and pressing it into place. Now we can install these mounting tabs on the bottom with the hardware. Now it did come with this bolt and a lock washer. I've added a washer just because it's good practice. It's not necessary, but it is nice to have. Repeat that for the other mounting point. Now with a 14mm socket, tighten it down. Now we can install the factory rubber grommets over tops of the tabs that we just installed. Now we can install the filter adapter through the intake box and the rubber coupler on the other side. Now in order to mount our air box, we're going to remove this 10mm bolt out of our fender support. With a 10mm socket, get it removed. In its place, we're going to thread in this rubber mounting point so we can install our air box. Now we can install the air box itself. There are two rubber grommets on the bottom that you can seat in place, and then the mounting tab at the side. Now we can install the washer and lock nut over top of the mounting point. And with a 10mm socket, tighten it down. With the large clamp over top of your filter, get the cone installed in the air box. Now with a flathead screwdriver, tighten down the clamp for your filter. And we're going to install the coupler around the throttle body. Seat it all the way back. Install your clamps over top. Hold them in place for now. Now we can install the intake pipe in both the grommets. And line these up to tighten them down. Line up your clamps, and then with a flathead screwdriver, tighten them down. And line up the clamps on the other side of your intake pipe as well, and then tighten them down. Plug in your sensor plug and plug in your PCV line. All right, so that is gonna do it for the review and install of this intake. And remember, for all things Gladiator, keep it at extremeterrain.com.